What's going on? How you doing? I know I'm doing all right. Everybody good tonight? Tonight, we're going to stream some M64 stuff. I'm going to talk about some really neat little things with you. Next week, we're going to do the Wii U. We're going to stream some Wii U. I got some really good plans for the Wii U. Got my Diet Pepsi. The dog's not going too crazy right now. The dog is actually pretty silent. That'll change because she's on a tear tonight. Oh, let me check my phone before we begin. Oh, man. I have no idea what he just said to me. So, he gets ignored for the rest of the night. All right. All right. Let me bring this stuff up. Dark Red. Oh, Dark's in here. Ray's in here. Let's see. Who we got in here? We shouldn't have that many. I normally don't start too hot. It picks up in a little bit. Hey, Zooty. Yes, the Wii U is amazing, and I'm so happy to have it. So it's another week of M64, and I want to talk to you guys about something that happened this past week with me, which I mentioned it in Reddit. And I am not mad, and I do not want anybody saying anything, but Mort's Garage did a YouTube video. And in that YouTube video, he did a thing where he flashed all these images up on the screen, and one of them was of my channel where it said final. And he goes, I don't understand what these guys see or what these guys are seeing in this because it looks so bad. Well, Mort, yes, I just started. So Mort, I was comparing it to a regular N64. And he also is like, everybody's like, kissing the machine's ass. If you guys look into my M64 review, I actually said that I wanted the machine delayed a week so that all the games could work. Because my two favorite games, Hydro Thunder and Rush 2049, which are two of my favorite games, do not work on the unit yet. And I just said that it should have released with 100% compatibility. But I've been very happy. I got my M64 in the last week of April, which is before a lot of people got theirs for the media. And I have been absolutely stellar about the machine. I am not shilling for this damn thing. I'm saying it because I actually love it. I actually love this thing. I really do. I'm sure if I had an analog, I'd be just as happy. And I don't take a dump on analog in any way, shape, or form. I've heard the image quality is much better on it. So, I don't know. I ain't got one. I might get one. Who knows? But as of right now, I have an M64. I have the greatest Nintendo 64 controller in the world from them. I have their games. I have the unit in purple, which everyone should be Team Purple. You've got to be Team Purple. I understand that there are people out there that made mistakes, clicked the wrong button, bought a red, bought a green, bought a clear. Some of you even got a smoke when you held off to get smoke when you should have got purple. But it's all right. I'm not mad at you none. Tonight we're going to play a couple simple things. What is my favorite console of all time? It is the Nintendo 64. It is because of my son that the Nintendo 64 has such a space in my heart. So that's why, if you were going to ask my second favorite, it's Go Team Purple. It's a tie. It's a tie, and it's not fair, but I love the GameCube. I love the GameCube. I do. I really did love the GameCube. But the PS2 is so incredible because of its lineup. I understand. I understand if someone loves PS2. PS2's there are games on the PS2 that are just wow, and there's so many hidden. You could, if I were to do a video of hidden gems for the PS2, it'd probably be about 3 hours long, and go 50 deep. So this week's Y64, again, just like last week's Y64, has not had too many viewers for it, and it kind of depresses me. I'm not that upset. I mean, I love making them. It wasn't about that, but I really thought they'd take off more. So I'm going to have to start showing nipple in it. I'm going to have to start showing nipple. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. I realize that now. If I don't got nudity, it's just not happening. I'm so glad you guys are with me tonight. Thank you for joining me again. PS2, best console Sony made. PS2 is one of the greatest consoles ever made, hands down, bar none. I saw it and enjoyed it thoroughly. Well, I appreciate it, Zooty. I do. I'm hoping that some. I think that as I get to like episode 10 and stuff, people will be like, "Hey, this is serious. This is a real series. This isn't some OnlyFans." Yeah. I honestly thought about reading my books on OnlyFans. Sitting here in boxer shorts and just reading my books. My book goes up for pre-order next week, by the way. I'm scared shitless for that. Terrified. This is, I know this sounds crazy. It's my favorite level in this game. Hello, Retro! It's so good to see you. I am so happy you're here, man. I love how on the Reddit, man, when people started cracking on YouTubers. Finally got my M64, played this game yesterday to test some filter settings. How'd you do, Zooty? Did it turn out good? Do you have a summer cart, Zooty? Retro, but what's really made me happy is I'll see in Reddit, I'll see people trashing on YouTubers. And they're like, oh, they're dishonest, they're this, they're that, blah, 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 blah. And then someone will come in and mention my channel and they'll be like, oh, I love Steve's stuff. And it feels good. It feels really good to hear that. I think it's back, left, right, forward. Yep. I have an EverDrive X7. I got a Pro coming. Dark, you need if you're gonna get it, yeah, get a summer cart. BMO! I'm so excited. I got my shipping notice for my M64 games and Pro controllers. My favorite level of Mario 64 is Tall Tall Mountain with red and white mushrooms. Yes, I should get a summer cart. You should. You definitely should have a summer cart. Every Nintendo 64 owner should have a summer cart. For a new gen video games, I think PC is the best choice. Absolutely. And playing your favorite retro classics on the side. I agree too. I'm actually making a video. I was scripting it out last night of I'm showing emulation on the Mac. Because a lot of kids today have Macs. And I have a young friend that is up at WVU. And he's up there and he's got him a MacBook and I'm kind of showing him how to do it, you know, get him a little bit. So I'm showing that, you know, everything, you can play so many games on the, on Mac that you can't believe it. I always misjudge his shadow so bad. Son of a, but it's good to see you guys tonight. Really it is, man. I'm really happy. I want the company Appalachian to make so I can rip M64 games straight from my card too. Yep. I love this game, man. And this was one of Drew's like favorite games ever. And it's just, I screwed that up bad. I gotta go back. This game means the world to me. So does, I've been playing the Wind Waker. I flashed that Wii and started. I'm like 7 or 8 hours into the Wind Waker, and God, I love the Wind Waker. I don't know when the last time you guys played Wind Waker was. crap. Wind Waker is S tier. Wind Waker is one of my absolute favorite Zeldas. If I tell you guys what, and I am going to say this on the Wii U, that game has aged beautifully. I mean, it is still one of the coolest games I have ever played. And the thing that gets me is I'll turn Link towards the camera and he'll sit there and look around and blink, and I'm just like, what's my favorite video game genre? 3D platformer. It's 3D platformer. I loved a 2D platformer, but when we got, I'll never forget, and I've told this before on stream, this right here, doing this, when I first touched Mario 64, something broke. Something broke in me. I was just like, this is the greatest game ever made, and I've been like that ever since. So 100% HD, including figurines. Yeah. It's such a brilliant game. It's so brilliant. And it just, Drew actually appreciated it right before he passed away. I'd ended up, because we liked the Wii. I know there's people out there that hate the Wii. I like the Wii. I actually really like the Wii. I always thought the Wii was really, really special. And I thought it was fun for family. I think Spyro is the goat of all 3D. What's up, Grape? But, and a lot of people do not like this game. I love Skyward Sword. I love Skyward Sword. I know that there is a ton of people out there that hate it, don't appreciate it. I adore Skyward Sword. The Wii is goated. And people that don't realize it, when you start looking at the Wii, there's a guy in here that I know personally. He has a daughter. She's, much older now. But even he will agree, when the kids had the Wii, the Wii was just, copy of Twilight Princess for my GameCube. My nephew is letting me borrow it. Well, yes, hold on to that like it's gold. Hold on to it like it's gold. It's one of the greatest. If you love 3D, you must try these new games. Mr. Sleepy Man and Dusk Fade. I'll write that down. Unpopular opinion. We talked about that, I think, Retro, how much I loved Super Paper Mario. How much Super Paper Mario meant to me. But I remember Drew didn't like the motion controls in Skyward Sword, and we ended up getting, when the Wii U came out, I ended up letting him borrow it, and he played it and played it and played it, and then he came back and he's like, Dad, that game is goat. And I was like, yes, it is. All right, come on. I realized something about this penguin. The reason it's crying so badly is it doesn't want you to take it to its mama because, she literally left him on top of the mountain. Wii bowling is in top 10 for sure. My mother, really game. Oh, I thought I was going to make it. I killed the penguin. Super Paper Mario started out development on GameCube. The Wii really is just a GameCube with a little more memory and a pointy stick. Nintendo sold us the same hardware, just in a pretty white shell. I didn't mind. I love the Wii. I will say this: my wife does not play games. If I go to play a video game, my wife will roll her eyes and leave the room. But a majority of games that she actually did watch us play were Wii games. Will you come here, you little... There was something about the Wii that just... It took people that didn't play this stuff and Hey, Reluctant, I'm so happy you are here too, man. But yeah, like I was talking about earlier, that guy made that video and he posted up and he made it look like I was shilling, and it really pissed me off a little bit. I was like, damn, dude, you didn't have to do that. My grandparents bought a Wii for exercise. Hey, I know a lot of people that did that. You're a terrible mom. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. Now, I know you guys know this about me. You guys know that from the 1970s, I had a bad stomach bug and was home. And I sent my father, he went to go get us some stuff from the pharmacy. Because back then, you didn't have these giant chains, and Walmart and stuff didn't exist. You had like little pharmacies, but they had a comic book rack. And I told him to go in there and buy me Spider-Man comics, and came back with Daredevil, which got me hooked. Hooked on comic books. So I got to see the Doomsday trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. I know Mort took the video down, but man, he called me out on it, and that really sucked. I was like, damn, bro, really? Favorite games on Wii U are Monster Hunter Tri and Star Fox Zero. I didn't like Star Fox. My boy did. See, I like Color Splash, and people are telling me I'm insane for that one. I'm going to blow this. You guys are going to make fun of me. Who gave the penguin steroids? My God. Here it is. Oh! Only people who hate it suck at it. That's me. That's me. I suck at it. I don't hate it. Now, there's a lot of people out there that give it hate. I just didn't dig it. Don't worry, Steven. Most gamer YouTubers let their politics leak into their videos. I've noticed that. I've noticed that. So anyone who supports Mod Retro gets a hard time. I've noticed that too. I've noticed that too. I've noticed I get, and I hate to say this because of my situation, I've noticed a lot of people don't really jump on me over that. I don't let, it's video games, dude. Shit. Okay. I don't let video games, I don't let myself get heartbroken over. Did I get that? I think I got it. Are you mother? I'm sorry. Nintendo Land was fun too. Nintendo Land, I think, is one of the most underrated. Hating Palmer Lucky, such a LARP. Well, you know. I remember, this is something I am going to say, okay? I don't get that involved. I don't talk, like I said, me and you guys have talked about it. I don't talk politics on here because I have friends on every aisle, everything. But, you know, Palmer is very divisive because of the stuff he does online, you know, and I can see where someone, because I've seen people try to be conversational with him and him come snap at him, and I've seen it, and I'm like, whoa. So, you know, but it's the internet, you know. If you can't handle the internet, you know, that's like, I get shit all the time, you know, over my channel and over this stuff, you know. This is not going to go well. Man, I just keep blowing this tonight. Nintendo Land is dope. I blew it. But yeah, I don't get involved in politic talk. It's stupid. Mod Retro makes video games. It's just pixels on a screen, bro. Yep. The guy that sent me the console, the guy that answered my letter about my son was Torrin Herndon. I think his name is Herndon. His name is, there's another woman in their PR department that I speak to that knows the name of my dog. She has a picture of my dog, for Christ's sake. So, I don't let things bother me. They told me that this launch, my son was as big a part of this launch as anything else. That's all I care about. And some guy did point that out on Reddit. He goes, it's very hard for you to be neutral because of what happened. And I told him, yeah, it is, So, but I don't get involved in stupid stuff like that. That's ridiculous. If you get mad over video games and stay in the center. Stay in the center. There. This is the time. I'm a Sega fan, and I wish some company made a modern console HD analog. Make one, but I hate how it sells some limited console of it. Torn was a lead engineer. This thing, I talked to him. Torn was a lead engineer with Palmer early on. Torn got sick and decided he didn't want to do it anymore. So Palmer asked Torn to have monitor. Well, this is my thing with that. Okay. When I talk to the guy, we don't talk about stuff like that. We don't talk about stuff like that. M64 is open source and they're publishing new N64 games. I mean, again, it's just games, man. I just want to play video games. I want to play retro video games. 8 hours a day, guys, I sit in front of this computer, okay, and I write novels. I write stupid stories. My first book was about the afterlife, okay? My second book was a horror story about cryptids in West Virginia. My third book is a romantic thriller about a guy running from his past and ends up on a farm with a woman. My fourth book is a Western. My fifth book that I've outlined is a sci-fi comedy. Okay? All day long. That's what I do. That's what I do all day long. And you just see words and you see words and you see words. And all I want to do at the end of the day is sit down and call my friends, talk to my wife, hang out with my daughter, and play video games. That's it. That's it. Wife thinks I should take up gardening, but I like this more. So that's my thing, man. I just want to, and I've started this channel. I have a community. I'm closing in on 400 subscribers, which for a channel that I started putting up videos on June 2nd, it's pretty slick, man. Okay, I got to remember this. There's one. There's one back here. No, it's over. Okay. What is the second book about cryptids called? 304 Monsters. And there is a sequel called 304 Villains that will be out very shortly. In my home state, nice job, Steve. In my home state, that book has done extremely well. And it's popped off, and I get people that come up. And there were like 150 sweatshirts that were given out around here. So I'll be out in public, and someone will be wearing a 304 Monsters sweatshirt, and I'll tell them that they have a nice sweatshirt. And they're like, have you read the book? I'm like, yeah, I've read it. Gardening is good, too. Maybe I should take up gardening. I got a friend that has a green thumb. Look, I love what Melbourne. They're an excellent company making excellent products, amazing customer support, and amazing developers. That's a company I love and want to support. Again, I just want to play video games, and not only that, they proved, and anybody can say whatever they want to about that company, okay? They proved, all right, what they were when they did that for my kid. I love your channel because I just want to hang out and play video. Yeah, you just want to talk about retro video games. You don't want. We are not teaching the nation's children how to read. We're not. That's funny about the sweatshirt. It is. It's hilarious. I'll be out and someone will be like, man, I'll be like, you read that? They're like, oh yeah, man, I've read it like 15 times. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. They go, do you know a sequel's coming out? I'm like, really? Really? Yeah, 304 villains, man. And I'm wearing I'll be wearing a hat in front of them. They'll finally notice and they'll be like, this is a really good story. You guys will appreciate this. I went into a Starbucks and I had a 304 Monsters hat on. And the woman behind the counter goes, have you read that? And I went, yeah. And she goes, I'm from Kuwait and I like your channel. No shit. Well, I love you, man. I love you. And I love you all the way to Kuwait and back. Man, I'm telling you right now. But she looks at me and she goes, have you read that? And I went, yeah. And she goes, I love that book. And I went, really? I thought it was really pretentious. She's like, no, it wasn't. I was like, yeah. I said, there's some stupid stuff in it. I said, and then I just got my drink and left. It's pretty fun. So yeah, over here, Retro, the book does extremely, extremely well. And my third one's going to do really well. I can tell you that right now. I'm really excited to get the third one out. But I run a lot of writers groups here. I help a lot of like young authors like learn to get their books out. I love doing that. I run a podcast here. Son of a... Get up, Mario. So, where do you recommend people buy your books? Man, you can get them anywhere. And here's the thing. I don't like suggesting Amazon, but it is actually the easiest place. Henlo Press they're the publishing company. You can get them from them. Almost any local indie bookstore that you are near can order it because it is on Ingram. So yes, but N64 and Mod Retro worldwide, yes they are. I just love retro video games, man. I mean, I don't understand why people... I just want to play retro video games. And here's another thing. Why the hell are we turning this into a mod retro versus analog thing? That's so silly to me. I'm trying to remember this. But yeah, everybody's like, oh, mod retro and analog, and I'm just like, I buy one and I'm waiting for it. I gotta remember where that was. I know there's one near that ice thing. I think I'm to the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Drop. Pow. What was the shipping cost to Kuwait? Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious on that too. What'd you order with your console? maybe $50. What'd you order with it? What'd you get with it? Did you just get the console? Did you get a controller? What'd you get with it? Because I think that's amazing that you're in Kuwait. You're on a, I don't know what time it is there, but you're watching some West Virginian. But I want to know what he bought with it. Did you buy games with it, or did you just get the? Do you have a lot of N64 games? What do you have with it? Console plus controller plus new shooter game. So I'm Shabalba. You got Shabalba. Do you own a lot of Nintendo 64 games? Are they cheap in your country? Because you know what? You know what I'm going to do? You go ahead and you get a hold of me through the email address there. I'll send you that. Give you a copy of Buck Bumble. I'm going to send you a copy of Buck Bumble. I'm going to give you a copy of Buck Bumble. Mail you one Monday. I love Shabalba. Xeno Crisis. You guys got to give me up for Xeno Crisis. I love Xeno Crisis because I love Xeno Crisis. I love that game. So yeah, everybody congratulate him because he won a copy of Buck Bumble. And I'm not kidding. Now, you get a hold of me through the email address to this channel, and I will send you a copy of Buck Bumble. I keep screwing that up. Bang. So, yeah, it's just... And listen, it's not that I don't love Buck. It's just... Get up here, Mario. Xeno Crisis has great graphics. Looks good. I'll check it out. It's just I'm never going to play Buck. The one I'm going to get from him, I'm going to get sealed, so... It's open. I mean, I hope that doesn't make you mad. But because you should have things to play on your Mod Retro M64. I tried Buck Bumble. Well, now see, I'm giving one out, and you're like, he's giving you out crap. Wait, go Retro. What are you doing, dude? Make me look bad. No one has played Buck Bumble. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? My bad. Oh, God, I love my community. That's pretty good. Oh, man. That's next. That's next. I bet you. See, when I saw the Earthworm Jim thing, I came unglued because I really thought that we were getting Earthworm Jim 3D. I thought we were getting Earthworm. I was like, oh my god, we're getting Earthworm Jim 3D, and it was the Game Boy game, which cool. It's already on its way. I'm very happy. Yeah. Gee, I love that somebody from Kuwait is in the channel. That's like the coolest thing ever. When I started this, I thought the only people that would pay attention was like mom, which mom doesn't even watch. Thought my wife would jump in. Don't forget to take out the trash. Yeah, but I'm going to do the 100 coin stars. It is. To get 120, you have to have the 100 coin stars. I'm going to take it out here in a minute. I just wanted to play through it again. Can't wait for save states. I think all that stuff's going to get. Someone asked me, someone sent me a private message and they asked me because for some reason people think I work for the company, which, you guys know I obviously don't, but someone asked me, they were like, so when do you think all this is going to happen? And I was like, oh dude, I don't think it's going to take very long at all. Sipping on a Dr. Pepper. Organized Master Peak with Star Fox. Yes. Yeah. I want horizontal upscaling and better filters. I don't think the machine was rushed out. Okay, there's so many people that say that, and that's just, I don't think that's true. I don't think the machine was absolutely like rushed out. I think the machine was, no, I'm not racing you. Well, go ahead. You go later. I think that just, they got it out because they wanted to get everything situated, set. And now that it's out, everybody's comparing it to analog, and which it should be on par with analog. I understand that, but could have really benefited. I hope they that's the main thing. I like Croc because it was supposed to be a Yoshi Nintendo game originally. Yeah. I can see it. Well, here's the thing. I can see why they're complaining, because I mean, if you look at it from a standpoint that, the analog is out. The analog has better image quality, has horizontal upscaling, has all that stuff. And that's really cool, man. That really is. Those features are really nice. And that stuff's great, but at the end of the day, I you know, you got to give them into September. If we get into like November and stuff like that, if we get into November and things like that, and they're not there, then we can start. He's wrestling super fan. Someday I will visit the U.S. I hope you do. I hope you do. I'll take you out to eat. Analog has been out for a year. That's true. It's not open source. That's true. And they're not publishing games. That's true. So, but here's the thing. I don't think that I'm not one of those people. I don't think it's a bad product. I don't think it's a bad product. Give them until the end of the year. Exactly. Why are we saying, we can sit here and talk about, they're not some, $6 billion entity either, Back up there. There are some killer wrestling events in the United States. Analog just got their act together, at least in regards to their 64. Well, see, and here's another thing, and I try to tell people this too. When analogs are sold out of the M64, or their analog 3D, are they going to stop making it? Because they did that with everything else. Or they're like, oh, well, here's another run. Oh, yeah, we're done. So I went way too low on that. What was I doing? What was I doing? Why didn't somebody say something? Atari has been doing it with their old systems, been loving those too. The Intellivision, there's an Intellivision out now, which I had the Atari 2600. My uncle had an Intellivision, which I used to love playing blackjack on. I was a little kid playing blackjack, which that was... Okay, got all those. What am I missing in Womp's Fortress? Atari has some bangers for the Nintendo Switch too. I'm wanting Nintendo to come out and tell me about the Zelda game. Why the hell have they not told me anything about this? Oh, I cannot believe I didn't get this one. I don't think it's this one, is it? No, it's the other one. Bit boxes, uniformity with my SNES games. I have an Intellivision too. I know you do. One of the controllers doesn't work. You need to get that fixed. Bang. I still think that the level design in this game... I have the Atari 2600 Pac-Man Edition. The Pac-Man Edition is one of the prettiest things I've ever seen. I had it pre-ordered, and for some reason, it didn't get shipped, and it pissed me off, so I canceled the pre-order. Well, that stage is closed. I'm going to do one more, and then we'll go on to something else. I know you guys are like, really? Fly flying around here, and the dog just took it out of the air and killed it. You're insane. I love new games for retro. That's why I jumped on the M64. Dude, that's the thing. We just need new games. We need new games. Having Xenocrisis, having, Jabalba 64. If they put out Earthworm Jim 3D, I would watch you do a full Mario 64 playthrough. When I come back through on this, and I notice myself slowly getting back because me and Drew played this so much. So I'm telling you right now, once I click back into it, I can do, because I've 120 this game. Like, I remember I 120'd it on N64, and then when the Wii Virtual Console came out, I 120'd it twice with him. So I think you have to have your back turned to him. Is there anything for the SNES that was officially licensed? I don't think so. He should have come out right there, shouldn't he have? Correct me if I'm wrong. He should have popped out right there. Do I have to have my back turned to him? Well, that was stupid. I'm dead. Because I remembered you swim past his face, as I thought. I hate that stupid eel. But Pride Plastics. There he goes. He's out. Choices. So, not to mention how reasonably priced their games are. $50 is a steal. I forgot this one. Is it here? Yeah. And it's the one beside it and then the one in the front, correct? Well, see, that's another thing. A lot of these companies are starting to realize, and that's what I kind of appreciate about Mod Retro. A lot of companies charge out the wazoo for retro product. All right, you guys know what time it is. It's 9:50. The wife has went to bed. I'll be back in like a minute and a half or 30 seconds. She needs her sailor stream. I had an FX Pack Pro. Not only do they charge a lot, but their quality is usually mid at best. Sometimes they even use cheap components. Mod Retro's quality through and through. Grape, I mentioned that retro products like have now gotten to the point where people are charging premium prices for them. Because premium, I mean, man, the cost on some retro gaming products, like the Neo Geo unit that's coming. That thing's ridiculous. Ridiculous in terms of cost, but I want one. I just want Mod Retro to get with James and make Junk Runner. Limited run. Wow. I wanted to get Gex for the channel, collector's edition of Gex, and it was. I know, I know. That's what I was just talking about. Hey, Brent, I want Earthworm Jim 3D. I want Earthworm Jim 3D because it's so expensive. Stoning's Gamer, they're like 5 hours from me. Did I get this one? No, I haven't got this one either. Hell, I haven't even fought Bowser first time. I'm going to end up with 30 stars. Earthworm, yes. I'm going to tell you right now, I know from the Torrent interview, Earthworm Jim 3D has to happen. I know from just the interview that Torrent did that there are like 16 games in the pipeline, and he's like, you're going to be absolutely shocked and stunned by what's coming, by what's in the pipe. And I believe him. Has anyone had any issues with Rogue Squadron not loading from an original cart? It runs fine for my summer cart, but I get a black screen from the original cart. Have you tried it in something else? Have you tried it in like an original N64 and it work? $24 stars. Now I'm not a speedrunner. I've said this in my videos too. I can do games done very slowly. If Mod Retro did Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut and killed the market, you think the hate for them would be bad? You think it's bad now? Piss the collectors off that are sitting on a warehouse full of, you know, Indiana Jones. I don't have anything else to test it on. You run an eraser over the. Take an eraser and go across your pins. Erase your pins, then try it. They should do it just as a troll. If they're going to release games, the games that I would love for them to do the most, Ogre Battle 64, but that's not going to happen because of Square. Clay Fighter would be one of them. Earthworm Jim would be another because it's an expensive cart. Stunt Racer would be another. Which all that, if I'm not mistaken, all that stuff's with Warner Brothers. Well, didn't they? They released a Game Boy game. Yeah. Yeah, it was ZAS. Yeah. Yeah, try the eraser. That's Microsoft, StarCraft 64. They do StarCraft 64. That will sell out instantly. That would sell it. They wouldn't be able to keep that in stock. If they did StarCraft 64, I can name 5 people right now that would buy it. Like that are in my personal inner circle, and 2 of them don't even own a way to play the damn thing, but they would buy it because they're fans. They're fans. I have a buddy. He comes in here every now and then. I'll have you mention. He's a big World of Warcraft and StarCraft. He's a big fan of Blizzard, and he has collector's editions of all the World of Warcraft games. And I'll never forget when he got. He has the StarCraft collector's editions. He has all that stuff, and he is a huge fan. Want to play it with overclocking? I did do that for you, didn't I, Retro? One time you asked me to play it, and I played it with overclocking on here, and it was pretty sweet. Okay. Womp, Jolly Roger, Cool Mountain. I'll go get another star from Jolly Roger Bay, and then I'm going to play another game because I've been on this one an hour. Yeah, I did. I did do that. See how great I am? See how great I am? Are you talking bad about me? No, Hippo. I am talking fantastic about you. This guy is disgusting when it comes to Blizzard stuff. Like, see, Roadcraft for M64, I asked Badger Punch Games, and they said they'd love to do an N64 port, but they're currently not working on one. Well, they should get to work on one. They should do one. But, dude, I love this stuff, man. How do you guys like the little setup I got here with the chat box and the fake Windows thing? Oh, shit. Okay. I was waiting on one of you to trash it. Really? 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 I'm going to tell you right now, I have a big feeling that Microsoft is more than on board. Well, see, remember, their cartridges have big, like 1 gigabyte thing. So stuff can be done on here. It's just a question of will it. Oh, you asshole. Come on. And there we go. Go up, 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 go up. So, yeah, but I don't think Microsoft. I think of all the companies that will be argumentative or won't have a. I think Microsoft will be the least because Microsoft needs money. I like it better because it isn't in the way of your Facer game. Yeah. I just uh I just want new stuff to play. Conquer would be the big one. I've said this in this channel 100 times since the live streams. I believe Conquer's bad for a day. And I do. I believe Conquer's bad for a day is absolutely coming. Microsoft is in fire sale mode. Yep. If I was Nintendo, I'd try to buy Rare back. I'd try to buy them back. Because, I mean, they sell Switches like it's nothing. Every week, they're selling Switches. Every week, the Switch 2 breaks, son of a... Every week, the Switch breaks a milestone. I like WinBack so much. WinBack is so underrated. WinBack now is really loved, but the people that played the N64 back in the day knew how great WinBack was. No, it wasn't Metal Gear, but get up there, Mario. Don't panic. Yep. Well, I know that a lot of people from Rare aren't there anymore, but I think a lot of them would come back if Nintendo ended up getting the company, or there would be less probably headache than dealing with Microsoft. No, I don't want that. I always screw that up. Microsoft is wasting Rare's IPs. Microsoft's doing more than wasting them. They let them die. Only value in Rare is the IP. Exactly. And that's why they need to let Nintendo buy. Just Nintendo needs to buy them back. I think Nintendo buying them back would be a brilliant move. You can get them for pennies on the dollar for what they were given to you for. Forgot what was over here. Just coins. Okay. Banjo nuts and bolts. Yeah, I remember when that got announced. I was like, "Oh yes, oh my god!" And then they're like, "And it's something stupid," and I'm like, "Yep, yep." You know what? And that's the thing. Nuts and Bolts wasn't a bad game by any means, shape, or form. But let's all be honest. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that. I didn't want it. You didn't want it. You know? And now we're stuck with junk. And that's the last thing that's ever been done. It just wasn't Banjo 3, yeah. Heartbreaking, actually. Did it need to be Banjo? Nah. They could have done it with any character. Well, it's like, don't you guys remember when they did Project Spark or whatever? And they're like, Conker's in Project Spark. I'm like, why is Conker not in Conker's Another Bad Fur Day? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in here coin wise. See, that's what I said. I think we talked about it in one stream before. Platonic, why doesn't Mod Retro reach out to them and be like, "Hey, we'll pump money into it. It'd be better than doing a Kickstarter, you know, and let them." I don't think Mod Retro is going to stop. I don't think they're going to stop. I don't think we're going to see them stop. Because I think that this has been profitable. I think this is, and again, this isn't, I don't know any of this. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys like I know a lot, but I mean, if you just look at the day they launched, the Shopify thing had like 77,000 sold. And I can tell you that here in West Virginia, in my tiny little place of West Virginia that I'm at, you know, there's a ton of those consoles, the smoke consoles at my GameStop that have been sold. Conker didn't sell well. Conker didn't sell well at all. That's it. Didn't it cause a big rift between them and Nintendo? Give me some ideas. I'll make something. Yeah, but I don't want that star yet. I've got to. I need 3 more coins. I need to kill. So amazing, beautiful 2D RPGs, love letters to the past. Why do I think it's expensive? Well, back when they were very, very high, when those things were very, very high, that technology was really up there. It's not now. And I don't think that it should be that high. But you know what? Hell do I know? You know? Let me see. If I'm not mistaken, there are coins over there that I can go get. I really don't know how much the cost of that new machine is, but I thought it was kind of pricey. Ooh, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. I've always wanted a turn-based game that is Shining Force, but also... Oh, yeah, I see some. There we go. 1, 2. I want all kinds of RPGs. I like shooting FPS on N64, like Doom. Yeah, Doom. I'd love to see Hexen. I want him to do Turok 2. I'd like to see him get Turok 2, put it out with the overclocking. You guys have seen Turok 2 playing on here. Turok 2 is awesome. Get up, Mario. Barry Lyndon. Stanley Kubrick. Love Hexen. Look at the ship sequences in Sea of Stars. Art style that I imagined. Sea of Stars. Then the gameplay of Shining Force. I said this, with what's going on in the retro gaming space right now, why Sega is not capitalizing on that is one of the stupidest things. One of the stupidest things. Why Sega is not putting out like a small Dreamcast and mini GD-ROMs and stuff. They could... Look at what we're paying for this stuff, for the M64 and $49 cartridges. Sega could literally put out a mini Dreamcast with wireless controllers. There's no way it's going to cost them more than $199. No way. No way. No way it costs them more than $199. And they could literally put mini discs out for $34.99, $39.99, and we would buy them. We would buy them up. Retro gamers would buy them up. The Sega we knew was insane and would do just the craziest stuff. The craziest stuff. And I don't understand why Sega won't. They just won't. And I don't get it. Sega could make so much money. Well, PlayStation, I can see it, and Nintendo, I can see it too, because Nintendo wants you buying a Switch. They want you subscribed to their service, just like Sony. Sony offers their PlayStation Classics on there, and Microsoft has their games for sale. You know, of course, everything's an Xbox, but Sega could be the one that could really push this retro gaming vibe, and I just don't understand why they don't. Now, see, I know everybody likes that. Everybody loves the Dreamcast, and I have no issues with the Dreamcast, but I liked when Sega's back was against the wall, you know, like in the Genesis era and the especially the Saturn era. I think that when they were doing those things, they were Yeah, exactly. They'd lose $0, but they still, you know how it is. They want you to buy the hottest, newest thing. Sony wants you to buy a $900 PlayStation Pro to play Wolverine. And that's what I'm saying. I think Sega would because I'm telling you, man, I agree with you. Sega must put their treasures on the market again. Exactly. Because they own the rights to them. There's nothing that... I'm trying to get him closer over there because I just like to... Ooh. Are you serious? Nintendo doesn't want to release games for all consoles. They want us to pay a subscription. Well, they all want us to pay subscriptions. Sony's doing it too. There we go. But there is a market that doesn't even buy $900 PlayStations, $500 Switch 2s that would buy new developed retro games. Exactly. Well, that's happening now. Look how well the M64 has sold. Look how well the Analog 3D has sold. Look how well this stuff has sold. This stuff has sold so well that there's nothing that they could easily sell this. Sega just blows my mind that they won't do anything. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like the horror film industry right now. The horror film industry is bigger than it's ever been. And why guys that hold the major properties just are sitting on them is just beyond me. Do you guys really like oh, here we go. Do you guys really like Dreamcast? I just remember playing it for a month when my cousin got it, then switched back to the Nintendo 64. Okay. The Dreamcast is remembered fondly for a lot of things that it did. Online gaming. I can't tell you how many NFL 2K games I had on it. NBA 2K games I played on it. Phantasy Star Online I played for like 250 hours on the Dreamcast. There was some really crazy... The Dreamcast was Sega at its best, but it was too late. Because everybody always thinks about Sonic the Hedgehog. And while Sonic the Hedgehog is great, don't get me wrong, really, if I've been doing that this whole time without any audio, I'll fix it later. There are all these rumors that Sega's making a handheld. I wonder if there's any truth to that. Maybe they'll put cards out for it. I have all the Sega consoles and play them every day on my CRT TV. I mean, it's cool, but feel like it's crazy overrated now. It's looked at and revered so fondly. Yeah, I'm with you, and I agree to an extent. But at the same time, there were things on the Dreamcast that are really top notch, and they changed a lot of things. Like I said, like Phantasy Star, and I must have put 200 hours into NFL 2K Online with a keyboard. Are you serious, dude? Why? There were and the VMUs, Skies of Arcadia. If you're a GameCube guy, okay, if you're a Nintendo guy, Nintendo 64, and you made the jump to GameCube, there were a ton of Sega games that were Dreamcast games that got ported, like Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia was a kick-ass RPG on the Dreamcast. And when we finally got them, when we finally got them, they were great on Cube. I love Skies of Arcadia. I thought Skies of Arcadia, that should have been a franchise for them. Where are you? Why'd I turn? So I know, but a lot of people put they look at it as the Sonic machine, you know, and like you and I have talked about, we've talked about it 100 times. It just whoever thinks DC is overrated never had one. The DC library shits on the N64 library. Oh, oh, throwing that heater. I think that both of them suffered from lack of third party, lack of like really good third party. There were some good third party games, but I think that both of the companies had to carry those units themselves, whereas Sony didn't, and Microsoft didn't either. And so it comes down to, if you're comparing both libraries, you got things like Sonic Adventure, Skies of Arcadia, Crazy Taxi, Daytona USA, Sega Rally, But then you look over at the N64 and you've got like Banjo, Conquer, the two Zeldas, Super Mario 64. I think they're both very similar. Evolution, I forgot about Evolution until you mentioned it. Evolution was stunning. PSX library is the hotness of the era, yeah. I mean, we can sit here and we can look back and we can what if a lot of things. Like, what if Nintendo would have said, okay, screw it, we'll do CDs? We can look at that and really think about that for a second. But the truth is, let's see if there's any updates. If there's an update, I'll update in front of you. But I think there is. I think there is an update. So I can never hear you well. Is it too low? I still think, gameplay-wise, the top 10 N64 games are better than the PSX and Dreamcast combined. I made a list of all SNES and PSX games I had as a kid. It's a huge amount between them, but I only remember a handful on each fondly. Because of my age, I remember the Nintendo 64. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay. The Nintendo 64, because when that machine came out, I was 20 in 1993. So when that machine came out, I have very good memories of everything from that era. And I truly do. I think the N64 library was really good. The problem is, I am a fan. There's a reason why it was only marketed for 3 years and still one of the talked about best consoles every year. I did have an N64, but it had nothing on the Dreamcast. I love that, dude. I love that you loved it so much. I think that there are some really underrated classics on the Dreamcast. And the thing is, that's why I want them to put it back out. I would give anything for Sega to put it back out, because Sega owns all that. I was the only one who had a PSX. The thing is, the Dreamcast needed a ton of sales, an absolute ton of sales, and they needed them before the PlayStation, because the PlayStation 2 was coming and it was a juggernaut, and everybody knew it, and Sega just didn't hit the sales figure. Soul Calibur, and I don't know if a lot of people remember that. I played the shit out of Soul Calibur. There was a horror game on there that I liked that everybody hated. There was a horror game that was on that machine that I played the shit out of, and everybody hated it. Everybody I talked to about it was like, that thing sucks. Maybe my memory isn't as good as I thought it was. I will say I love Conker's Bad Fur Day. It is a classic. Blue, my friend, you are right. Hold on a second. I wanted to test something out. So give me a hot minute, if you will. It shouldn't have confused you why the PS1 sales numbers were so much higher. It was not Blue Stinger. I know Blue Stinger. It was something else, and everybody hated that game, and I'm racking my brain to remember what it was. I'm going to put the new emulators on here because new emulators just came out that specifically help the M64. I'm going to see how they work. There's one that came out that fixed the SNES. Carrier, no. Anybody play through Shibalba? I did. Persona was not on the Dreamcast. Illbleed. That was it. So are we supposed to turn off the M64 worksheet? I thought we left it on first day I played it. I thought it wouldn't read any game until I turned it off and put the game in first. No, I hot swap all the time. How Whiskey? You're here for the last 30 minutes. It's always good that you're here. No, Jonathan, it was not Blue Stinger. It was Illbleed. It's Illbleed. And every person I knew hated the shit out of it. My son used to make fun of me for playing it. He's like, Dad, that is trash. You are trash for playing this game. I was like, boy, don't pick on me. All right. Replace. But yeah, the emulators got updated for M64. Because you couldn't control in certain Game Boy games and stuff. And there was a massive update. Sega was fighting itself. The Illbleed Blue Stinger universe. Illbleed is both dope and expensive. Hello, Bob. All my PS friends were jealous. Nothing touched Banjo-Kazooie nor 007 PvP. Yes, 007 PvP was something special. Okay. See, I was waiting on somebody to mention it. Zombie Revenge was all. I played billions of hours of Power Stone 2. Power Stone 2, God. Great game. I have a lot of trouble hot swapping games unless it's my TV going in standby mode. Sometimes I think my TV is acting weird with this console. I'm going to say yes, brother. Do kids these days even do sleepovers? No, Bob, what they do is they just text each other. My daughter and her boyfriend, I didn't think they spoke because they would sit in the room and just text each other. Now let's see if it works. Yes, you can. And M64 NES games are damn near perfect. It works. See, you couldn't control before. Oh God, what am I? Grape, I'm surfing eBay, and there aren't enough plastic clamshells in the world for how many games I want in my collection. My buddy used to kick my butt at 007 PvP. There's a guy that's in here. He lurks, and he pissed me off. I play him first person shooters. He's a prick. He beat the shit out of me all the time. Why does a boy need to sleep at another boy's house? He didn't understand video games. That's just it. They didn't understand. My father never understood my love for these. And I tried to explain it one time because my father was into classic cars. And I sat down with him. And my dad he's half Native American, very proud guy, steel worker, had this way about him. Okay. My father's name was David. Everybody called him Big Dave. A huge man. Okay. And my dad was sitting there one day. He goes, "Why do you play this stuff?" And I said, "Because, Dad." I said, you know. And he goes, "Why are you getting Drew into this stuff?" And I said, "Okay, Dad." I said, "Listen." I said, "It's kind of like you are with classic cars. You know, you go and look at this stuff. You buy them. You drive them. You love them." And I said, you know, this is the same thing for me. It has this thing. It sucks me in. It takes my time. I love to see how they're made, how they're crafted, and the beauty behind it, and all kinds of stuff. And my dad lovingly looked at me and said, "You're an idiot." So I actually made my own repo Pokemon Crystal Cart gadgets. I commissioned an artist to make a label. They added some features to the new Earthworm Jim Chromatic, but I don't know what they did. I suppose when I found out we need a memory card. Do 64 DD games work? I'm going back and looking through some of these on. Yes, I got them to work, but I can't get the one I want to work to work. So, yeah, my name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world inhabited by creatures that we call Pokemon. I used to tease Drew over Pokemon all the time because he would start telling me all this stuff about it, and I was like, I don't care, which I did, but video games are art just like movies and books. It's why I love physical ones. Yep. You couldn't talk to the old man about it. Remind me one day when I get a bigger audience that I can lose, that I won't mind losing some people to tell you about the time my grandfather came in and I was playing a NES and he asked about it. But we don't know everything about Pokemon yet. That's why we need to cut them open. There are still many mysteries to solve. That's why I study Pokemon every day. Now, what did you say your name was? Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Frida. You must try the new Pokemon Mod 2.5D. It's great. Now, if I'm not mistaken, because the reason I chose this one, isn't Crystal like, what's your guys' favorite Pokemon game? I knew this was going to become a thing. I didn't play these until like a lot later, and I didn't play the GBC or GB games. Wait, is that why the box of Pokemon Professor Oaks he's dissecting them? Yes, he's sick. Do I have Donkey Kong Country for the SNES, GB, GBC? Got to be Donkey Kong Land. What are you talking about? Isn't this game like, I didn't play this one. Is this the big one? See, don't you think it's weird that she's been talking to the professor and now she's like, hey, why don't you go on off into the world? Probably because she was talking to the professor. That's why Dad isn't around. What day is it? Saturday. It is. Pokemon Gold was groundbreaking when it came out. Most fun I've ever had on a Game Boy. The day versus night was a huge adventure. I know how to use a phone. I probably was playing this game on an emulator in Japanese because it hadn't released in America yet. We still have it, but if you guys remember the GameCube, it was very easy to region mod it. And I had a friend that region modded it, and Drew and I bought the Japanese edition of the Wind Waker when it came out several months before it came out over here. And we had a massive printout that we spent all this money on for ink, and we played through it. So we had it done. M64. Well, I have Ray. If you're talking about Donkey Kong, like Donkey Kong 64, I do have Donkey Kong 64. God, this looked good. This looks really good for back then. Frida, there you are. Is your mother going to be home later? All right, I'll stop. I need to ask you a favor. I'm conducting new Pokemon research, and I need you to leave town for a while. I believe if you have a summer cart, you can get a program to upload your Pokemon saves to it, then swap out the battery, then re-upload your save. You need a transfer pack. I think he's right. I think Jonathan's right. I'm writing a paper that I want to present at the conference. The innards of Pokemon. Sean, this is Pokemon Crystal. I wanted to show the emulation capabilities. I know that because it still isn't, but it does open up the possibilities of you being, because let's be honest, Pokemon Crystal is not cheap. That game is really expensive. I know Sawyer's in the chat. How much is Pokemon Crystal? He knows. He's a Pokemon person that I recently caught. Okay. You're a great help. So's your mother. When I announce my findings, I'm sure we'll delve a bit deeper into the many mysteries of Pokemon. Too much? Okay. That's what I thought. I thought Pokemon Crystal was like ridiculously expensive. And the thing is, with the popularity of Pokemon, this stuff is just going to keep right. Crystal is $160. Okay, guys, there you go. Crystal's $160. Now, I am not for you spending $160. And plus, like you said, batteries and things like that. It's ridiculous, dude. I don't even know what gen this is. But we're going to play as Frida, who has been thrown out of her house because Elm and... I want you to raise Pokemon contained in these balls. Go on, pick one. Do I love Mario? Do I like Mario Sunshine? Mario Sunshine is one of the most underrated games I've ever played. And when I bring the Wii U out to play for you guys, that is one of the games I will play a absolute ton of for you. Because I know that it's out on Switch now, and I know that everybody really loves it, but that's why I wish Chromatic had save states for batteries. I think because of the bitching about save states, I think we're going to see Mod Retro put a lot more in behind save states. Your partner is important. What the hell is that? Somebody pick one for me. First person to answer, I'll take it. That thing scared me, though. That thing, weird looking. I don't know all the Pokemon. I did play Picopia, on Switch, and I'm a big fan of Piplup, so, because he follows me around and does stuff with me. Damn it. Okay. Retro was first. Frida was very uncomfortable after she received Chikorita. No, Chikorita's the worst. That's why I chose it. Did you ordered a Wii U based on your recommendation? It already was between the Wii U, PS4, and Atari 7800, as I have the 16 others already. The Wii U... Chikorita's name. Is it male? Yes, it's male. No, it's not. Okay. You know what? I don't want to give it a nickname. Can you play SNES? Yes. Okay, I'm going to test that this week for you. For next week, there was a new version of the emulator that came out. M64 needs save states. We can't save our progress in Buck Bumble without a memory card, and original memory cards have batteries and won't plug into the news. Yeah, this is the thing that's kind of upset me. I love what they've done. I love the machine. I adore my machine. I think my machine is great. I love this big fear now that every machine is going to catch on fire. Everybody's like, it's so hot, like I cooked an egg on it, or it's so hot that it burnt the baby, or it's so hot I boiled water with it. Dude, I had a pre-production unit. I've had this one. You guys know how much I've played this thing. I've played through Ogre Battle on it. If these were going to explode, mine would have exploded by now. Here's my phone number. Call me in case you're coming back so I can sneak out of your mom's window. They didn't add saving to Buck Bumble. You guys, I just gave away a Buck Bumble tonight, and you guys keep trashing on it. And the guy's like, thanks, Steve, for giving me junk. I just elevated the M64 1 inch. It runs way cooler. I'm not concerned about it. I know what the temperature that this thing can get to, and I'm just not concerned about it. The thing that scares me, the only thing that scares me on it is the heat to the cartridge. That's the thing that bothers me. Feel free to use it anytime. I'm counting on you. Bring me more things to cut open. Dude, save states are a godsend. So nice once you get used to it on analog. And see, yep. I ordered a M64 and an analog 3D. Happily enjoying the analog 3D. Meanwhile, since I can save on the game. I saw someone post a small 3D printed stand for the shape of the vent holes. Well, I was most excited about Buck Bumble because I had not played it and it looked like classic N64 game, but I found out I can't save. He's expensive these days. Not sure what everybody's complaining about. Using the analog in the meantime. Dude, I know that there are people that have trashed analog. I don't trash analog. I actually was going to buy one to do like comparisons, but I just thought there's no point. Some people are so dramatic. I saw someone on Reddit say it took an hour. Okay, I did have one time where an update did take like 16 minutes. It just sat there. It used to download it, then check it, then slowly start to update it, but the progress bar wouldn't move, and then as it went through and made sure the checksum was correct. So, and then it came back and it was so hot it was melting. It's not that hot. It's hot, but it's not to that. Analog 3D has save states that kind of want one now. It does. I'm sure they did not include pictures because it did not melt. I have put this thing on insane overclock and played Perfect Dark for like 4 hours. It's hot. And I've said that. I've said that in Reddit. I've said it here. You know, I can reach over right now. Top's a little warm. Bottom's pretty toasty. But it's not yank my hand away hot. That's not, it's not that way. I saw someone say the fact it gets so hot is a good thing as passive cooling needs to pass the heat into the shell. Yeah, I mean, you know what, Palmer, if you're watching this, and I know you do, you know, please come on and talk to us about the passive cooling. You know, my chat, the hundreds of people in my chat want to know if the plastic should be hot like that. Can they cook an egg on it? You know, they want to know. So please just call in. You know, I got my phone right here. You can call and we will discuss, because I don't think it's bad at all. Can those custom Pokemon games trade with regular games, or are they not compatible? I don't know that. I know that the transfer pack stuff's coming. I think by the end of October, all the things that are in the to-do list. Hold on, let's look. Let's see. Built-in controller pack. I think that's going to be in the next virtual controller pack. I think that's going to be in the next update. Low latency video output, force progressive mode, in-game notifications. I think those will come later. M64 Pro controller plug and pair. Save states. I think we'll have it by October. I think the big ones, save states, transfer pack, and video pass through for the chromatic are all by October. Palmer in chat would go so hard. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be like, how the hell did you get one of these again? So yes, Palmer, for the hundreds of people that watch this channel, for the hundreds in the chat, could you please just show up and talk to us about the heat so we can go on Reddit and tell everybody to not worry? I've never played this one, guys, so Grape needs to know. Whiskey needs to know. We should know. Hold on a second. Let's do this. Reddit is vile, dude. I've been yelled at on Reddit. I'm not gonna lie. Safe states is like wave 3. With as much though whiskey as people are bitching, I think it'll be a lot faster than you think. Because people are really pissy about it. I've heard people say it gets hot, but I've yet to hear anyone say it's hurt them. I know I can't cook an egg on it only gets warm. Well, that's why I want Palmer to answer the millions and millions of Steve Bias fans and subscribers about the heat. About the heat of this machine. We're scared, Palmer. If this thing falls off my desk and burns the dog. I love you guys. I really do. I'm trying to keep it entertaining. I killed that hoot hoot. See, they say fainted, but Elm is coming in right behind me. You're right, Stever. Palmer needs to answer for why Gex was not a launch title. The Stephen Bias community needs to know exactly where the fuck is Gex, Palmer. And if Palmer doesn't want to answer Torrin, we'll settle for Torrin. Torrin can come on and talk about the heat. We'd be more than happy to learn about the heat. We want to know about the heat. But you're right. The community needs to know about Gex. I swear I'm gonna send an email tonight, and if they're going to announce Gex, I'm gonna be like, could you please announce it here? I know that's insane and nobody would do it, but please just announce it here. So many analog 3D fanboys be hating on the M64. People. I'm mad. I can only softball an egg. I was lied to. Go Chikorita. See, dude, if they made a new Gex game, Mod Retro can't handle Gex. They're afraid of Gex. Hoot hoot. But yeah, man, it's just Platonic Games. I've said that, Brent. That's the one thing I said. They need to reach out to Platonic Games, pay them, and have them give us. Ooh, critical hit. A true analog fan doesn't hate on the M64. See, speaking is true, because you're a retro gamer, Sean. You know, that's the whole idea. This is a true story. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this tonight. I'm gonna tell a story. So, it's 1986, and there's this kid that went to school with me. His name was Brian, and I remember he was a big. No, it's 84, and he used to draw the Commodore 64 logos all over everything. He's a big Commodore nut. He was a massive Commodore fan. And I remember, I had a Commodore 64. My dad wanted to get me a computer because he's like, oh, he needs one. All I did was play games on the damn thing. I convinced Mom and them. I was like, oh, it'll be great for school. All I did was play games on it. And I remember we were standing in the hallway and we were talking. Now, I was a big kid. We were standing in the hallway and we were talking. And he was talking about Commodore stuff. He's like, you can bring your games over. We'll copy stuff. And I have this and I have that. And these two jock kids came by and they slammed his head against the locker and called him a nerd. I remember that happening. Dude, plain as day. I remember that happening. I was like, why you let him do that stuff to you? And he was really into video games. And that's why they picked on him. They picked on him over video games. And it was just crazy. So you're a retro video game fan, and you're a video game fan. I don't understand why they pit us against each other. Why anybody pits us against each other? They can't do that until the last game the commission comes out. I've been waiting for Dark Legacy's Onslaught to come out. True fans love the competition, but forces both to get good as they can get and make better products in the first. We win if they compete. That's true, but at the same time, when people are like, oh. To be frank, Mod Retro asked for it with their boast. They do boast. And always uses a heating pad I can. Just called a Volkswagen air cooled. Trailers on their YouTube. I want it to come out so badly. So, I don't know, man. People, I want a retro room with nothing but stuff from the 90s. See, I'm more of an 80s guy. My childhood, 70s and 80s. Speaking of analog, I'm absolutely loving the CRTV. If people don't like the M64, at least they should appreciate all the new upcoming games. That's the part that gets me. We have games coming, I want new 2D M64 games. I want to see what Palmer was talking about with the great 2D graphics. I want to see that too. Regardless of who you like, competition is a good thing. People who take it too far are just toxic. I agree. Well, Frida saved the game. I don't understand why people get so tore up about this stuff anyway. It's silly, man. It's video games. I can sit here and talk to you guys about, we just had a 1 hour conversation. We were talking about Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. Xenocrisis is fun, but it's basically a Genesis game. Mischief Makers 2? Who made the original? Mischief Makers. It was Enix, so it's Square. I'd be happy if Analog suddenly dropped an announcement of Analog 3D releases. They don't. They've never done that. They've never done that. They've never done anything like that. That's the part that sucks. They've never done anything like that, and that's what we need. I always considered myself an athletic nerd because I was very athletic and I love video games. Yeah, but a lot of people didn't, and that was kind of a problem. I'd buy new games from Analog too. I would too, but we ain't gonna see that. I'll go a little bit longer with you guys. Go just a little bit longer. Go a little over. Competition pushing companies to consider doing things they've never done. Exactly. Well, that's what the horizontal upscale. Do you really think the horizontal upscale would have happened if it wasn't for the M64? I don't. I personally don't. Because they didn't do anything to clean up images on their other consoles, did they? I don't think they did. It's great to have this. It's great to be able to do this and play these things and do these things now. And that was something we couldn't do before. And it's important, you know, like we said, to not lose this stuff. I don't think anyone can compete with Mod Retro on the quality made games. But I like to, if it means more games. Yeah, dude. Look, I'm a fan of them because of what they did for me. I'm also a fan of them because I like their products. I think this is the best N64. I like the N64 controller. I think this is the best N64 controller you can buy. I think it's one of the best premium controllers you can buy. I think it's one of the best pro controllers you can buy. I know there are people on Reddit that scream that they've had trouble with it. I know that Mort said that he had a problem with input lag. I've not had that. I don't know if it's my LG TV. I don't know what it is. I have not had that. You've watched me play Super Mario. I will give companies my money for box retro cards, period. I don't care who makes them. Yeah. They didn't even tease it, as far as I know. It was a total surprise to everyone. Yeah, the horizontal upscale was a surprise. No, it was a middle finger to Mod Retro before launch. Maybe, but well, maybe not limited run or first press games. They can't have my money. They probably don't have gaming mode on. I don't know what he did. I don't argue. I didn't get down in the comments and say anything. But all I want is I just want more people to play this stuff. That's all I give a shit about. I want people playing PS2s and N64s. And just like Blue was in here talking about, you know, he's a big Dreamcast guy. I want people playing Dreamcast again. I want people playing all this stuff again. I want people arguing with each other. It's stupid. I think chromatic advance will happen. Shadow Ninja Reborn. I have not played that. I do not have that. I tested without gaming mode. Ocarina of Time was half second delayed. It was very frustrating with the controller. It was near instantaneous. Perfect. We are so back. Yeah, man. Got my copy of Paper Mario finally. Good. Because Paper Mario is awesome. I'm going to beat Chris Benoit. Bad. Oh, no. This, which I subscribe to Retro Randy Price. If you do good work, I subscribe to you. And Retro Randy Price, the stuff that he does is just unbelievable. It's just like the guys that do the NFL Blitz game. They do the roster update. Will the controller hooked up to the Wii or Wii U? What are you talking about? This one? Or because I'll be using the pad for it. There's a Starcade 2.0 that's coming that I'm going to, when it hits, I'm going to do that. We just don't, guys, it's just, we're living in an era where we can get this stuff again and play this stuff again. And best wrestling console, not even close. Absolutely. These are the best. There's nothing like these games. I even think that modern wrestling games do not touch these games. Yeah, Big Valboski. And this community is insane. I didn't know he did a Fisherman's. Spike come down to get some. This stuff and the stuff that we can buy and get, like summer cards, EverDrives, you know, the M64, the analog 3D, which again, I do not hate. The chromatic. See, when the chromatic pass-through comes by, I remember when I worked at GameStop in 2011 and had a midnight for WWE 2011. We sold out. It was huge. I am in West Virginia retro. Okay. Wrestling games here are insane. People buy the ever-loving smack out of them. So, oh, why is that on that? But Randy Price does just his stuff. I'm a Patreon member for him. I love his work. I'll go to 11:30. It's 11:09. I'll give you 2.5 tonight. I remember watching John Cena when he first joined. It was fun. It's too big a business now. They took it away from the smoky bars and stuff like that. It's all gone now. I don't care. Ah! I don't know this. Up. You see what Peach is having him do? Notice she only gives him love if he brings her something. Doesn't matter that he's getting eaten by a giant octopus. What is this game? This is Game & Watch for the Game Boy. Game & Watch for the Game Boy. Ah, man. What is this game? Dude, there's so much stuff that you can play and do on these things, and you don't know until you get it. And which I'm gonna have to get an analog 3D. Somebody asked me about NES games, so I'll go ahead and show you a NES game. Think of the kingdom, Mario. Wealth must be acquired. Yes, Mario. You get down there with that giant octopus, you get that treasure, or it's the couch again. Plays perfectly. These games are just... Copy of Legend of the River King 1 and 2. Yeah, I have those on here. I love the mod retro community. No offense to the analog community, but from what I've seen, it's very toxic, and I don't care what console you have. Some people in the mod retro community can be a little... You're right, Whiskey, but... Well, I don't even understand what the hell they're arguing at each other about. Woohoo, extra innings, I know. And how do you not like Castlevania? Who doesn't like Castlevania? How can you not like Castlevania? I know that Symphony of the Night just got a... Dude, I am like trash ass tonight. Da-da-da-da. I had to, where I redid everything and had this cute little thing, because I'm trying to make things nicer for you. I got this cute little thing that I've put around for. Never played Castlevania. Well, you know what? You have an M64. And if I'm not mistaken, Richard, do you have a summer cart? Because you could put those games on there. Play them, baby. You could play Castlevania 2, which is really good. You should play a Fine. I'll play a Donkey Kong. I like Castlevania on Nintendo 64. It's so sick. We've got two different companies making my favorite console. Exactly. We've got two. We live in an era where two companies are making Nintendo 64s that we can hook up HDMI to our televisions with kick-ass controllers. I'm going to gush every day about this controller because everyone needs to have one of these. I know that there are people out there that hate the N64 controller. I'm telling you. And I've talked about it in my chat, and I even cut and spliced some of the chat. This is literally one of the coolest controllers ever. I have never played Donkey Kong Land 3, so I know I'm going to be ass-ish. I don't even know which Kong this is. Nah, I'm lying. I actually do. I know all the Kongs. I shouldn't. I'm a 53-year-old man. You can make fun of me if you want. I think it's funny that I've been playing Game Boy games tonight with you guys. Do you guys like this week's thumbnail? People have been saying, okay, I have 4 of these controllers and I've had 0 problems. I have one that's a red pre-production unit. 0 problems. So I have had no problems. And I would tell you guys, that's one thing. I know that there's a lot of people out there that have said, you know, Steve is shilling and stuff like that. If I had any problems, okay, I tell you. And there's a guy named Emancipated Hippo in here that he would not let me get by with it either if I was just straight shilling. He would come in and chat and go, well, you told me that this thing sucked ass. Well, that was stupid. Hands down the best N64 controller I've ever seen. I have seen issues with D-pad and something about stick wearing down. Now, I've had 0 issue. Whiskey, same here. And I've had it on every one of them. You know something's good when people complain about the small shit. I have not had any problems. 0 issues with any of my controllers. None of them. None of them. The red one, the perps, nothing. And when I get a smoke, we'll know if there's something wrong with it. But I'm telling you, I was always amazed at these Donkey Kong Land games. Amazed what they could do given the hardware. Exactly, man. Nintendo always got that's one thing. I don't know if Blue's still in here or if he left me. But I know he was like, oh, the Dreamcast smacked the ass of the N64 any day. The Dreamcast had a hell of a lot more power. It was amazing what the N64, what Nintendo got out of it. I love the OEM one because the stick is thinner and optical sensors. GoldenEye doesn't feel quite right without it. I understand. It kind of messes with me a little bit playing Super Mario on this because of how this feels. So. I know. Hold on a second, because he said that there was a problem with it. I wanted to see it. Castlevania got too much hate. Dreamcast didn't have Gex, end of argument. Yes. Did you try to change the gate? Nope. Haven't tried to change the gate on my controller. Nope. I always try this, just hoping one day it'll work. I don't think he's here anymore. I don't think Blue's here anymore. But I really enjoyed him stopping by. I enjoy anybody that stops by here. Love you guys. You're some of my favorites. Some of my favorite people. Are you using Windows 97? Oh, no, it crashed. No, it's just a overlay. I'm actually using a Mac. I wanted to start giving you guys overlays. I've been trying so hard to just do fun little stuff for you guys. Because you guys show up for me, I can at least do some really neat little shit for you. That's why I try... which, in my field, there are a lot of people that hate AI. I'm not a fan of AI. But I am a fan of AI if you're doing something as a joke, as something funny, as something, as something that you don't try to take it as your own work, okay? And I don't know if you guys have noticed the thumbnails that I make for this. So, I actually really like the overlays. Keep them. I'm going to. Makes it feel retro. I like it. That's why I did it. Just trying to do it for you guys. Yeah, this is peak Windows. This is 98. Yep, this is Windows 95. So, yeah, there you go. So, talk to you for a minute. So what we learned tonight is that I'm still learning Mario 64, that the analog and mod retro communities cannot seem to get along, even though they should. Game Boy Color. Yeah. And the camera's rolling. Sus. I do miss Space Cadets Pinball and XP. I do too. I've had a really good time doing this channel. I've had a really good time doing Y64. I really enjoy doing the Wii U. I really enjoy doing the Wii U video. And I keep reading on how to do more things. So as the channel matures, things will get... I get a lot of views. Did any of you guys notice what happened with my Mod Retro, like, M64 review? Have you guys seen, like, the views on it? It's, like, over 50,000. So, I'm trying to buy a GameCube with a Game Boy attachment from the bottom, but he's not willing to sell it yet. You can get a Space Cadet N64 ROM. I have it. Well, then I'm going to play it. Favorite pinball game is Pokemon Pinball. Nice Halloween poster. That poster is signed by John Carpenter, by the way. And afterwards, the one behind it, that's my first novel. She has an OG Pinhead action figure signed by the creator. That is pretty sick. The Daredevils back there, because I'm such a fan, they're signed by the artist. Mike Zeck is the top one. You can't see it, but off to here's 3 or 4 monsters. And then there's stuff here. Greg Capullo. I've got a Batman for him right there. Let's see. Let me see. Nice Halloween. Mod Retro community gets along with each other. Haters gonna hate. We all get Zooty. We get along with each other. We all love each other, man. This is our thing. But like I was talking about AI, the thumbnail for this was a analog 3D and an M64 sitting on the bed and a guy filming him and a guy with a boom mic like a porno shoot. I thought it was funny, you know. Since Y64 reviews, I think you should say what games they are so people know what they're going to watch. Okay, Brent, I don't know how much you know about this channel. The reason I do that is the more important thing about those is that they are stories that I tell because my son passed away in 2023. The channel's dedicated to him, and it's mainly about the stories about me and him more than it is the game. Then I go into what the game's about and I rank them and stuff like that. I understand what you're saying, but I kind of do it as a retrospective, long form entertainment. I like the thumbnails. Thank you, Zooty. I like Daredevil, best Marvel character for me. He's the best comic book character. I just ordered the Flippy mod for my GameCube and player for the Game Boy. Next batch is August 18th. I want to check out the Flippy. Love all the Black Dog tech mods. I see them doing Clay Fighter Super Cup. Palmer said he wants to target high-cost games. Please, Stunt Racer and all that stuff, just get all the really high ones out and just piss everyone off. That's what I want. Yeah, guys, it's... I've been doing this now. Spawn is the best comic book character. Spawn just don't have the longevity that the Double D does, and he didn't have the runs that Double D did. Double D had the Frank Miller run, then had the Anna Cinti run, and then had the Brian Michael Bendis run, had the Mark Wade run. You know, he's had years of like great runs that have been just stellar. X-Men, the X-Men had one writer that just crushed it for years. I'd love for them to crash the crazy high price market. I would too. Batman is best for films. I know so many Batman fans. Anything to ruin the scalper's day and get rare games back into the hands of the fans. Let me check something real quick. I'm just gonna go to eBay and see how much one is. Just while I got you guys here. Stunt Racer 64. Because knows? It's sitting in my closet. So here's a Stunt Racer 64. That one's fake. Oh, here we go. Stunt Racer 64, authentic cart, in box, no manual, very rare, tested, $1,575. No. 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 Put one out for $49.99, and then we can all play it. I like the game. People shit all over it. I like it. And redo Superman 64. Give him another run. Give him another run for us. If Mod Retro upsets the market, maybe companies like Sega will release retro products. Yes. Whiskey, that's beyond crazy. That is crazy. Why in the fuck would I pay $1,500 for a Nintendo 64 game that's 35 years old, 30 years old? Do a playthrough of Stunt Racer on an original card. I'd be up to. I should. I think I'd get a lot of people in for that. I think I'm going to tell you, that Wii U video really popped off. And I think when I hook this Wii U up, I think there's going to be a lot more people that jump into this channel. I am going to do a video on a game. I'm doing several videos over the next couple of weeks. Mac tutorials. Yep, price charting $3.99 for Stunt Racer. Is that complete in box? I doubt that's complete in box. This wasn't complete in box. It had no manual. Had no manual at all. So, $11.29. Even if they do re-releases, I'll still always want the Made in Japan originals. I know it would never happen, but imagine if Nintendo could crack a deal with Mod Retro to sell some of their old classics. That has about as much chance as happening as the internet, half of the internet embracing Palmer Luckey. Because that half of the internet will never embrace Palmer Luckey. No, but Palmer, I know I talked to him tonight. The invitation is out there. We want you to come in and talk about the heat of this. My thousands of fans. Steam Machine is not getting it right with the price. They can't help it, man. They buy them off the shelf. Clay Fighter Sculptors loose cards have reached sales at $1,500. Oh God, then please do it. Please do it. Please do that. Please come in. Complete in box sales at $2,500, $4,000. I want this to change. Now, it's 11:30, guys. I can call it a night, or I can play one more game. I bought my Wii U on day one and was so excited for traditional controls and no more waggle. Reluctant, I like the waggle. Don't judge me. I like the waggle. Those of you who want authentic N64 cards, better get them before the prices skyrocket again soon. I'm going to give you guys a word of advice. And I want you to listen to me, because nobody ever listens to me. Well, my wife doesn't listen to me. My daughter doesn't listen to me. The dog sometimes. The dog likes me. I'm telling you right now, buy GBA games. Buy them now. Get them now. Get GBA games right now. Get the big ones, the rare ones. Get everything you can right now. You know what, Sawyer? You convinced me. In Kuwait, the Steam Machine is available for $2,000. I would wait. GBA games are already expensive. I know that, Retro, but I'm going to tell you, come the winter, when they announce the Chromatic Advance, it's going to be even more, it's going to be on a level of stupid you've not seen. $2,000 for a freaking Steam Machine? I honestly thought about getting one for the channel. I really did, and then putting like EMU deck on it and showing you guys. But then I sat there and I said, do I really want to pay $1,000 for this effing thing? No, I don't. Because let me tell you what would happen. You guys would be like, where's Saturday's stream? And you just see me here like, because my wife had strangled me. First off, what overclock do I have on? We're going to go to extreme. I have a list of 24 I want for my collection. I've had the majority of what I want for GBA for a while, and I was surprised that GBA prices didn't go crazy with the analog. For some reason, reluctant, or N64 prices raised with the analog, but when the M64 got announced and as it was coming, they went, they shot. So I think that's some people have more money than sense. Yeah, I won't pay over retail for, you guys know my rule, my Batman rule. Okay. I'm finding something different, something we normally don't do here. But yeah, I'm going to start giving you all new like things. And my wife asked me if I was going to start doing Twitch. I'm not going to do Twitch. I'm just going to stay here. I like it here. Drill dozer is $120, $130. Are you shitting me? I love Zero Mission and Metro Fusion. I think they're better than the Super Nintendo games. I love how this plays with this controller. Warrior Twisted is outstanding. I do need to pick up Golden Sun. You need to get things now. Because the minute Torin and those guys announce this, it's over. I like buying my Game Boy carts with no labels and commissioning artists to print labels and putting shells. I don't blame people for using flashcards. I don't either. Shit, I can't say anything. I'm using a flashcard. I don't mind flashcards at all. I know there are a ton of people out there that hate them, but they're like, oh, it's not the same, and these suck. And no, they're great because I don't have to pay prices like that for. I have my two favorite games. Just be careful with GBA a lot and inspect. Yeah, there's a lot of counterfeits. You got to be very careful with counterfeits. People can get funny about owning all the games and you play on flashcards. I don't care either way. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Why do people give a shit? I kind of want Drill Dozer now. Thanks, Grape. I don't mind some. That's like the EverDrive Pro 64 Pro that just got announced. Everybody's trying to cash in on this because right now this stuff's the hot commodity. This stuff is the hot commodity right now. We are standing on a very good. Flashcards are sick as heck. There are people don't even buying a bunch of games they aren't even sure they like. It's one of the coolest looking cartridges ever. I treat my flashcards like demo disc. If I really like a game, I'll go get an original copy. If the copy is reasonable. If it's not reasonable, I don't suggest buying it. I'm just one of those guys. I don't feel like paying $130 for a game is a good move. I'm one of those people. This plays so smooth on here. Train 10 Marines to select the barracks. Queue up the first 5 Marines. So your train, add more Marines to the queue. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. I hit the wrong thing again. Growing up with physical media is something about owning physical games. And that is the cool thing. And there's something about these consoles that is so great too. Having the box art, having the shell. See, that's one of the things I bitched about last week in the stream with about Colin Moriarty, the guy that's the journalist. When he bitched about it, I'm like, shouldn't he be on the side of gamers? What's wrong with people wanting to have a shelf to look over and go, well, I own this. These are mine. You know. To have your favorite game on a shelf, yeah. A lot of my favorite games, though, were also Drew's favorite games, and that's why I put them up. See, mine, I also have that whole thing going too, so. Does anybody in my chat own this game? Own a physical copy of this game? On PC, no. Does anybody own StarCraft 64 on cart? Because I've run into so many people that just do not own this. I know one person that owns it physically. But no, rented it and hated the controls versus the PC. You know what makes it better? I know you're rolling your eyes. I don't care. It's the greatest thing ever. when the new cores hit this thing, I'm praying that Mod Retro goes, okay, release a SNES controller, release a Sega controller, Genesis controller, 6-button Genesis, release a PlayStation controller. One downside to flashcards is having all the games. I find myself jumping between games, not knowing what to play. Doom scrolling or choice paralysis. Yep. Choice paralysis. Yeah, I mean, you're probably not wrong between the Pro Controller and Overclock. That's what I'm saying, man. It's made all this feel new again. And that's what I keep trying to tell everybody. The M64, the analog 3D, they've made all this new again. And that's what's awesome. This feels new again. You know? Plus I have a space heater. It's a killer space heater. It's made all this feel new again. It's made it special again. I don't know. It's made it all feel good again. I feel good about playing this stuff again. You know, it's fun. It's people just don't get it. You know that. Modern game. I'm just. You care if I just rant real quick about modern game? Because people clip this and say I'm an asshole for this. Modern gaming is trash. And I have a friend, I have a really good friend, and I have a bunch of friends that are on Xbox, and they're on there all the time. I have one friend that all he plays is Marvel Rivals. He plays Marvel Rivals all day. That's all he plays. I have another friend, he jumps from game to game. Then I have one that plays a bunch of modern stuff. But modern gaming is just, there's something wrong. I can't finish nothing. I start stuff and I just don't finish it. And I'm just like, that sucked. And it takes so much for me to find something that I really enjoy. This Mario 64 that we are doing together, I will beat this again. The Legend of Zelda that I'm playing in the living room on that Wii U, I'm going to beat that again. I had the Legacy of the Dark Knight, the new Batman, the Lego Batman game. Good night, buddy. Good night, Retro. I appreciate you staying. I didn't mean to take it too long. I'm serious. I couldn't play through it, and it's not that it's not a good game. It is a good game. I just don't finish these things. I play more stuff on my Chromatic than I did my PlayStation 5 Pro. That's the truth. That is not a lie. That is not me trying to push something or some narrative. I literally played through Dragon Him, and Rayman, and I can't do it anymore. I can't play this stuff anymore, and it's just the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, the N64, even the original Xbox. I love that stuff, and I think it's 100 times better than what I'm coming. That's like the Wolverine game. I should be jazzed for and I am kind of excited for it, but I know that I'm going to get that game. I'm going to spend the $70 on that game, and I can guarantee you I'm not going to beat it, and I don't know why. Grand Theft Auto 6, I will buy it, and I will not beat it, and I cannot tell you, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but if I pick up the Ocarina of Time over here and put it in here, I will go through it. I don't understand it. I don't know why I do that. Maybe I'm just a jaded gamer. But it's now 11:46. And we just lost Retro. And I think that it is time for us to call it an evening. So let me look here. I want to thank every person that stayed here. And I know we didn't have a bunch of people tonight. I know we didn't. It just we didn't have a ton of people tonight. I think the highest we had, which I like it. Yeah, the highest we had tonight was 24. And that's good. I like the small community. I like the community we have. I do. Catch you. I had fun with you. See you next time. And God bless. Yeah, you too, man. You too. This was a lot of fun. Good night, Whiskey. I want you guys to catch me next week. Next week's the Wii U. I'm going to have the Wii U hooked up. We're going to do some crazy stuff with the Wii U. But this was so much fun. And I thank you guys for being here. If you haven't looked at Y64 yet, please do. If you have any suggestions to make it better, please do, because I'd love for people to watch it. I'm going to do a Mac emulation video this week. It's going to be pretty neat. So I got some stuff coming. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next Saturday. You guys have a wonderful time, and I am